The efforts doing it differently than others, I also think just continuing to look at others and learn from them as well. You've talked about the regional councils. I think certainly for the Rochester and Finger Lakes area, which I'm in, a lot of synergy and energy came out of that, especially for the people that participated across lines, but also just doing a quick analysis across the state. More than half of the funded programs, although maybe being great programs, seem to be short-term focused. Housing, water runoff, funding those types of things, and some of the things creating long-term jobs that are going to be there for a number of years were fewer of those. So like in our area, a few things like the GRE's Economic Gardening Project or the Golisano Institute got minimal funding as opposed to full funding. As we go forward, is that going to be different in how we look at long-term, short-term projects funded?
Yes.
You want to? Well,
absolutely.
I'll take that, and I hope that long-term sustainable jobs will be a greater focus. Let's go through, the whole permitting process, the challenges of business. I know you came up with the consolidated funding application. How's that gone? Is that going to be changed, whatever? How's that going?
For this year, there will be another round of CFAs. The deadline for applications is still to be determined. And to your earlier question, projects that didn't get fully funded can always reapply.
One of the concerns about whether it's annually or semi-annually that the councils might meet and do the funding, sometimes in economic development projects, the responsiveness, you can do a large thing like the couple I just mentioned, but there might be a project that needs to be put together in a few weeks, a couple of months. Does our system, the way it is now, and having things funneled through the regional system,
focus a lot on our existing base of employers, harvesting in that garden that's right here before us. And we have a set of new programs in terms of small business access to capital programs, MWBE programs, and tools for small businesses that I think is at the heart of that gardening. So the answer is yes, it's a very big focus of ours.
The last thing that I would just like to focus on quickly is business climate and our efforts in the state. We're still getting things, agencies being a harassment to business. I have here a company that was being asked to give sales tax information on a plane they bought 37 years ago. That the company, didn't have. A small business that had a $25 late payment to tax and finance that carried with it a $500 penalty. So those agency type things, and then you get into issues of energy costs and workers' comp and whatever. Are there initiatives along those lines that your agency can be helpful, or do you have a set of regulatory changes you would like to see made?
Well, ESD is clearly not a regulatory body, but through the regional council process, the Lieutenant Governor Bob Duffy, leading that process, asked all 10 councils to identify on the local level tax and regulatory burdens that were real, that were affecting businesses in those regions. Those recommendations will be advanced to the new Chairman's Committee, which Lieutenant Governor Duffy convenes and will convene early next month for its first meeting. Well, they will review those recommendations that come up through the regional council system.
I look forward to seeing that report. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Is that going to allow for us to still be responsive?
Yes, because to Senator Bonasik's observation earlier, we still retain flexibility for special situations, and we still have resources in ESD that we can deploy day to day for key projects outside of the regional council system.